All right, this episode is titled Tyger Tyger. It came out on October 30th, 1992. It was directed by Frank Parr, story by Michael Reeves and Randy Rogel, and written by Cherie Wilkinson. Animation by Dong Yang with layouts by Spectrum. Featuring Kevin Conroy as Batman Bruce Wayne, Efren Zimbalist Jr. as Alfred, Adrienne Barbeau as Catwoman Selina Kyle, Jim Cummings as Tygress, Gorilla Garth and the Zoo security guard, Joseph Mayer as Dr. Dorian, and Mark Singer as Kirk Langstrom. Honorable mentions here. We got Dong Yang, who animated this episode with layouts by Spectrum, as I said. Dong Yang produced the episodes that we previously reviewed, which were Joker's Favor, Nothing to Fear, Appointment in Crime Alley, Eternal Youth, Two-Face Part 2, The Forgotten, I've Got Batman in My Basement, The Cape and Cowl Conspiracy, Perchance to Dream, Night of the Ninja, and See No Evil.
Mixed bag.
Mixed bag, yeah. And Spectrum, who provided the layouts for this episode, also produced On Leather Wings, Heart of Ice, It's Never Too Late, POV, Vendetta, Beware the Grey Ghost, See No Evil, Robin's Reckoning, and The Laughing Fish. Not such a mixed bag, more of a banging bag, if I could put that on that one.
Hey, look, this episode looked great. Great cinematography. The vibe was awesome. The character designs, I liked the way all the creatures looked and everything. It was just...
Me too.
It was just the island of Dr. Moreau starring Batman.
I know.
That's all it was.
It didn't work at all for me, but we'll get into it. Story creators and editors Michael Reeves and Randy Rogel have been credited previously on this podcast. Reeves in our Pretty Poison review and Randy Rogel in our Two-Face Part 1 review. Director Frank Parr has also been credited previously in our Be a Clown review, as well as Frank Parr and Randy Rogel both being previous guests on this podcast. So go back and listen to all of those episodes if you want to learn more about all of their careers. And then finally, writer Cherie Wilkinson makes her DCAU debut. That's sometimes hard for me to say. DCAU debut with this episode. This is the only episode she wrote for the DCAU. Her other credits include 11 episodes of Superman, the cartoon from 1988, an episode of DuckTales, and a few Transformers episodes as well. So a few shows recognizable, but not loads.
Superman cartoon from 1988. Why is that not... Why am I not... What is that?
It's just a Superman. There was so many. There was one in the 70s as well after the first movie. It came in the late 70s, maybe early 80s, I think, actually. And then there was another one. It's how Spider-Man has 5 different cartoons.
Yeah, but I'm aware of them. I guess I was just not aware of this Superman 88.
Yeah, and then there was a Justice League cartoon. There was also a Batman and Robin cartoon that was mirrored after Batman 66. Adam West even did the voice.
Yeah, I know. I know most of I didn't know about the Justice League one, but no, wait, yes, I did, because it was the Whole of Justice and everything.
Yeah,
so
it's Justice League
I am aware
America.
of all this stuff. I just Superman 88. That's not ringing any bells to me.
It looks like all the other shows, but yeah, right. I don't know how long it ran for, but it started in 88. Some acting creds here. All returning voice actors have been credited previously on this podcast in their first appearances, such as Mark Singer in On Leather Wings and Adrienne Barbeau in The Cat and the Claw Part 1. Adrienne Barbeau, also a previous guest on this podcast. Go back and check that out if you haven't heard that interview. And as far as new acting creds go for this episode, Jim Cummings, who plays Tygress, Garth, and the Zoo security guard, has technically been credited previously on this pod in his very small role as Jekko the Clown in the Be a Clown episode. But just as a reminder, he is a legend in the voice acting world. He's literally been...
I recognized him immediately.
His most well-known roles are Winnie the Pooh, Darkwing Duck, Taz, and the Shocker in Spider-Man, the animated series.
I was watching something the other day, and I heard his voice. I was like, man, that guy has gotten around everywhere. It's such a recognizable voice. I can't remember what I was watching where I was like, hey, it's that
He's
guy.
got so much range as well. It's crazy to see him go from Winnie the Pooh to Darkwing Duck and then a Disney character. It's crazy. Then we've got Joseph Mayer, who plays Dr. Dorian, makes his one and only appearance in the DCAU in this episode. He is also known for playing Father Tim in the movie In and Out, Isaac Newbolt in the movie The Shadow. Do you remember The Shadow? I haven't seen that in ages. He's also White House decorator in Mars Attacks, and he's judge numbers 1, 2, and 3 in an episode of Tales from the Crypt titled Let the Punishment Fit the Crime, which is in season 6. Have you gotten to season 6 yet?
I haven't. I've been watching Tales from the Crypt. I've kind of fallen out with it. Not fallen out with it. haven't been watching. I've been watching other stuff, but I would like to continue watching it. So no, I have not seen that episode.
Okay. Yeah, he sadly died in 1998 at the age of 64, so not very old. All right, our utility belt of fun facts here. There's not loads, but I'll share what I got. This episode shares similarities with the book The Island of Dr. Moreau by H.G. Wells.
Oh, wow.
Yep, pretty
yeah,
much.
You're right. Wow. It's kind of like the Joker movies, a bit like The King of Comedy and Taxi Driver as well, right?
Oh my God, I've never realized that.
Wow. That's wow.
I don't know why this episode was done. I didn't even have the heart to reach out to Randy.
Someone was a huge fan of
The Island of Dr. Moreau. I don't know who.
And when did that 90s movie come out where they redid it with
Val Kilmer?
Val Kilmer and really, really fat
Marlon Brando?
Marlon Brando. And by the way, why did both Marlon Brando and Orson Welles become mega chunksters in their final years? Were they we're legends, right? I'm the best director, of all time. People, it's very, that's what people think. Marlon Brando, the best actor of all time. They're like, you know what? I've done it all. I've never been a really big fat guy. That sounds pretty good.
That's kind of like what King Henry VIII did, right? He just got fat in his later years. I'm just the king of the world, so I'm just going to get fat and just chill out. Be the
king of my waistline, baby. Yeah.
Continuing on here, Dr. Emile Dorian bears a striking resemblance to Dr. Pretorius from Bride of Frankenstein and has a very similar role as well. So a little Bride of Frankenstein in there. In the video game Batman Arkham Knight, there are posters of a film titled Dr. Dorian's Island of Mutants. These depict a silhouette of a cat as well, on top of a mountain, much like the last shot of this episode.
So is this based off of a issue of Batman then?
No, this is totally made up for the show.
So made up for the show, okay.
Yeah, but Arkham Knight, obviously, there's people that were involved in the making of Batman, the animated series, so they must have just done it as a little cameo ode, little Easter egg. Then we got Kirk Langstrom's line, he likes cats better than people, is very similar to what he said about his father-in-law, Dr. March, in On Leather Wings, where he said, I think he likes bats better than people. I think that's his go-to line, whenever he encounters an animal and a person.
I think he likes rats better than people. It's do they all rhyme? Is it all just... No, it could be anything.
What else you got?
Have you seen his hat collection? I think he likes hats better than people.
Mad Hatter?
It's Mad Hatter, yeah.
I like it. Then we've got the final fun fact here is taking its name from the William Blake poem. This episode ends with the poem's opening stanza as well of Tyger Tyger.
Tyger, Tyger, burning bright in the forests of the night. What immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry?
I love poetry being read to me in a Batman cartoon.
It was one of our least favorite things in Spider-Man, the animated series, and it's one of my least favorite things in this as well.
We're usually, we're obviously very positive on this show because we love Batman, the animated series. I've got Batman in my basement. I had a lot of fun with that one, right?
Yeah.
That's a notoriously hated episode. This to me was just I don't know. It's just like ham-fisted Shakespeare of I was promised your love. At the end when they're come with me, Tygress. He's like, no, I don't belong anywhere. It's mate, yeah, you could come into Gotham. But there's a giant killer croc out there.
Yeah.
There's a man bat, same shit as you, guy. And he could probably work in a series. No, I've made up my mind. I live on the island now. It's you have options. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm all alone because I burned down my house. So I'm just going to live on the island, do some fishing because everyone hates me. It's no, just look, just because I'm sorry that you thought I was going to fall in love. Oh, by the way, most fucked up thing in this episode at the end when he goes to Selena and he's like,
I'll be stuck like this forever.
Would that be so bad? You could stay here with me.
Oh, Tygress, I can't live like this. I have to be human again.
Goodbye, Selena.
And he's like, hey, stay with me. I'm a freak, you're a freak. We can get our freak on, baby. And then she's like, no, I can't live like this. And he's like, all right, fine, here's the serum. It's like, hold the phone, buddy. So you're saying that if she agreed, like, you're right, I'm stuck like this, you would have been like, just like smashed it up, being like, I got what I wanted. Like, that's really fucked up. It reminds me of that movie with Chris Pratt, and
Passengers?
Yeah, exactly. I've never seen that movie, but I remember you told me the whole plot of it.
Yeah.
But it's like that situation where it's like, well, you know, if I'm stuck like this, I might as well get laid while trying to do it, baby. Like, it's like terrible. It's terrible.
Yeah, well, but Jennifer Lawrence, that's her name.
That's her name,
yeah, it is really messed up. I thought the same thing. I was like, so, yeah, what was your plan if she said, yeah, okay, let's live on the island together?
You would have been like, stop.
Batman's like, was that the... He's like, shut up.
You just stomped on the serum. What? Oh, it fell out of my cat pocket where I installed. Crazy, right? So you're staying, right? You still staying? You could stay too, Batman. I mean, you're kind of like, you know, an animal, I guess.
Did you think that Batman was going to get turned into a bat? I was waiting. So just to premise, I've seen this episode once, right? This is one of the few episodes of the animated series I always skip over because I think it's bad. Turns out in a review, sometimes my mind has changed. On this one, no, I don't like it. And I thought that like it needed something like that because Batman was just, first of all, I don't like Batman in the jungle. I don't think it works at all. I didn't think it was cool. I didn't think he looked cool. There was no shadowy shots of him where I'm like, get him in a tree and like, you know, in a shadowy figure. It was so colorful and boring at the same time. Like there was the plot. I was waiting for it to be like, when are we going to get to the end of this episode? And I was thinking it needed something like, okay, we've experimented on Selina Kyle with cats. Now we got Batman. Let's turn him into a bat. You know, like that would have made it more like cool and enjoyable. And
Selina like ends up saving the day, or even better, the Tygress guys, like he sides with them and turns them all back into normal people, sacrificing himself in the process or something like that.
Exactly.
Many avenues to go instead of guy hides serum from lady because he wants to fuck her. You know what I'm saying? Like, not the best avenue to go.
He wanted that pussy, if you know what I mean.
Hey, it's acceptable because she's a cat person. So no flagging on the YouTubes about that.
I like music in this show. I like music in this show. That was a weird sentence. I like music in this show.
I like turtles.
And this episode, it started with some tribal drums and some wind instruments, and I was like, okay, cool. And then there was barely any music in this episode. Sorry, I had Indian. I'm burping before we started this podcast.
Did you have a jalfrezi babadam,
No, I had some butter chicken, baby. Maybe that's what I'd be spliced with, some butter chicken.
I'm delicious.
Butter chicken. Stay on me with this island. I really need you. You smell amazing. Yeah, I thought the music was just as boring as this episode, and there really wasn't much to it. So yeah, let's dive into this episode. Right at the beginning, we get Wish.com Gorilla Grodd like hitting Selina with a tranquilizer, and before she goes down, she sees him, and she sees that it's a gorilla man. And do you think she was like, man, this is some good shit? Like, I'm seeing gorilla people? Like, what is in this? And then we cut to Bruce hanging out outside a cafe looking all sketchy in through the window. And at first I was like, is he stalking an ex-girlfriend? The way he was like peering in through the window. Like, do you think he was just like, oh my God, it's steak night and I'm missing steak night because Selina's late? It would look so weird. And that French waiter comes out and he's like, oh, I forgot to tell you, Miss Kyle is going to be delayed. And I'm like, how did you forget to tell him? He's been out there for like ages because she's like 20 minutes late. Like, you'd think you'd tell him right away. Instead, he's just like, let Bruce Wayne stay outside.
Yeah, that he always pulls the girl, so I'm going to make him wait this time. Let him know what it feels like to be stuck up by a very attractive lady in Gotham City.
We cut to the zoo as well, and we've got the security guard telling the other cops, like, Selina's boyfriend looked like an ape. And then Bruce just comes running up, but he goes, where is she? And he's like, but he's sprinting. But the delivery sounds like he's sitting down, like, relaxing. It sounded so different from what we're watching.
Man, her taste in boyfriends lacks severely. The guy looked like an ape.
Where is she?
And the cop says, like, this is police business. And then he's like, where is she? And I was waiting Bruce to be like, police business? I'm Batman. Like, let me deal with this. Like, he grabs the security guard, like, where were the other drugs going? Just a zoo security guard, dude.
Who's also Kermit the Frog, apparently. Oh no, the doctor got me and he spliced me with a frog. Oh no. Don't you feel like there should have been, like, the fun thing about the island of Dr. Moreau is that there's tons of spliced animal people. Like, there's tons of them.
Yes.
But there's only 3 counting Selena in this. It's like, there should have been an army of them, right?
I agree. There should have been loads of them. We see like
But then they're like, whoa, that's just Island of Dr. Moreau, though, you know?
Yeah, we don't want to do that. But yeah, we see like a bird cat like flying around, but that's it. We don't see any other like freaks. I know we see like that gorilla mixed with the cat that Kirk Langstrom has. Also, why does Kirk Langstrom have one of Dorian's failed experiments? It's just sitting in...
keeps it in a cage with a towel over it. Like,
yeah,
that's really fucked up.
What is it?
One of the good doctor's early experiments.
it's really fucked up. And like, it looks so scared because it's like, oh my God, I'm
It's
like finally free.
I forgot I had this. Hang on. There you go. It's like, it's covered in shit. And, how long has it been? Well, I haven't seen the doctor in 7 years. Oh, how are you alive? You should be dead.
Yeah, I couldn't believe when he just whipped out this creature and then put it back in the cage, and Batman's like, cool, thanks.
Yeah.
You know, like, not like, oh, that's
Hang
animal
on.
cruelty.
Wait a minute. This is fucked up. You forgot to put the blanket back on it. Oh, thank you. Oh my God. I don't want to look at that all day. There we go.
God, it stinks.
And what was it? Like a cat with like
A monkey.
monkey cat?
Monkey cat, yeah. Like a little monkey cat. It was
So
weird.
everything he likes to do is splice with cats. But the monkey they said that he experimented on monkeys first. That's why we have the monkey guy.
Yeah, and then he's
Okay,
like,
so-
I like cats now.
And I'm guessing the only reason that was added to the story was so that we can get Catwoman involved in this.
Yes.
But like, what's the origin of him being like, it's cats of the future? It's like,
Yeah,
it's just a means for the plot to get Catwoman involved. That's it.
Exactly. And I felt like it was almost Ninja Turtles like, with like
Oh, very. Yeah.
Baxter Stockman being like, here's these new mutants that I've designed for you, Shredder, that's going to fight the turtles for you. You know, we've got like a Catman, gorilla, all that.
Not just that, but if you read the TMT run, there's this huge thing that this group of mutants do where they drop a bomb on New York City that releases this gas and just turns hundreds, if not thousands, of civilians into like half animal,
Mutant
half
people.
And it's like they all have to like suddenly live like now as like that. And I remember reading that being like, oh my God, like you see some people and they end up looking cool and stuff. Like they're like, oh, I was spliced with like, like a German Shepherd. Like, oh, wow, I look really cool. And like, oh yeah, I was spliced with a lion and a tiger. And some guy's like, I was spliced with a mole rat. Oh, kill me! I had 20/20 vision before this. Now I don't have eyes.
Yeah, it was very Ninja Turtles, and yeah, I felt like, again, it was just a weird episode in this show that's like, it's been consistent with, I know we've had a few
we've had
episodes,
some heavy hitters,
but we've had such heavy hitters recently, but it's all been consistent, like in Gotham, and it's a villain. This just seemed so out of left field, and it was so weird. So yeah, more about the episode. I felt like this zoo had the worst security in the world because Selena snuck in, Bruce snuck in, Wish.com Gorilla Grodd snuck in, and no one detected them. And then finally, there was like a tranquilizer dart in plain sight that Bruce finds, and he's like, like being all detective. I'm like,
what is this trash doing here? This is an active crime scene. Who put this? People just chuck stuff away these days. Like, they just go on with their lives. Like, I don't need this anymore. Wah, over their shoulder. They don't realize that crime happens. Alfred's just like, sir, clearly, it's a part of the crime scene.
What would Alfred be spliced with?
I feel like an elephant or a giraffe or something.
Oh, I like that.
So I can stick my neck up and I can look down at everybody and say, "Hello, son."
Batcave's a bit small now, but
yeah, he uses his long giraffe neck to like dust the ceiling. He's like, finally, I've been needing to get the ladder out for years, but no need anymore. There I am.
We get a brief cameo of Alfred in this episode with him like dusting and answering the phone. And I love how he's like, look, I'm not running your dating life, mate. Like, you get on with it. You be a big boy. I've got cleaning to do and my shows are on later, so I want to get to it. So Dorian lives on an island off the coast, but what coast? Like, it's never described. Like, is this just another place just outside Gotham? Like, we've got like Boss Biggs' desert. We've had Doctor Strange's Yucca Springs resort. Like, there's so many like weird different climates outside of Gotham City in this show, and this is just another one. Like, did you think it was really far away, or did you feel like it was just a quick bat wing trip?
10-minute flight, if that.
Yeah. Speaking of the Batwing, it's cool when it flies past the moon. I like that silhouette, and then Batman jumps out in the Batglider. Another appearance of the Batglider. This makes so many appearances in the show, way more than I remember. But we have him walking around on this island with like lightning and thunder, which I thought looked cool. I thought that was cool. But did you notice he shot a grapple rope up the side of the like lab castle thing, and then he decided to climb instead of rappel up? And I didn't know why he did it.
Or something. He was like, fuck, not again.
It's so hot here, too.
It's boiling. Alfred, you're going to have to really wash my suit after this. Oh, the rope isn't broken again, is it, sir? Yeah. How many stories do you have to climb? Hundreds, Alfred, hundreds. It's a big building.
Are you exaggerating again, sir?
And, you know, I had Indian, I had butter chicken, and my stomach is not okay. We'll see how I get up there. They're going to call me Brown Man when I get to the top. So just be careful.
Dr. Dorian's like, I was going to splice you with an animal, but you stink. Get out. Get out. It was very Batman 66 with him walking up the side. I was expecting like a cameo.
He gets to the top, and then like he sees that he exits like down below. He's like, that was a waste of energy.
World's greatest detective does it again. I also love when Dorian shakes his head over Gorilla Garth failing to capture Batman, and he says, servants nowadays. And I was expecting Batman to be like, yeah, I hear you. Alfred's getting real slow.
Yeah. You should hear the lip on this Brit. My God.
You thought you were sassy, Dr. Dorian.
Like, he's got 10 years, so like he just says whatever he wants, and like he knows my deepest darkest secret that I am a bro. I'm a bro.
Don't splice me with a bro, Dr. Dorian. I already am one.
That's right. I have my own chili recipe, and I'm in a fantasy football league. I'm a bro.
Can you imagine?
That's my deepest, darkest secret.
If he splices him with a bro, Batman comes out with like a varsity jacket and like a backwards hat, and he's like, I drive a Prius now, and it saves on gas mileage, but it's pretty good, you know, bro? Yeah, bro. I'm a bro.
That's right, bro. It's Batman's voice.
So we see Catwoman for the first time as this, like, you know, hybrid cat creature, and he's listing all of her enhanced abilities.
You've made her a monster!
I believe she would disagree. You can't even begin to imagine how it is for her. A whole new state of being, heightened senses, increased speed, agility, strength.
And she's just laying there, giving herself a bath. And I was like, this is such a weird thing, because you see her jump from like tree to tree, and then she's being cat-like. And I was waiting for Dorian to be like, yes, the furballs are the downside of this whole transition. I keep seeing her pouring at the door outside as well, and I go to let her in, and then she turns away as if she didn't want to come in. And then I close the door, and the little bitch does it again.
She brings me dead animals thinking that I want them. I don't. I can't get takeout on this island, helicopter. It's very expensive, but, sometimes you just gotta get that buttered chicken, am I right? No, I just, I heard about Killer Croc's Killer Wings, and I heard it was really good, so I had to try it. I thought it was going to be mustard and chicken, but it was raw chicken and sewage. So I fed it to the cats. They loved it.
Batman goes all strongman and picks up a desk and breaks the glass. I thought that was an overreaction where he's like, "You turned her into a monster," and then he just like hulks out. And I'm like, there's other ways you could have done that, Batman. And then obviously Tygress steps in and he's just like manhandling Batman and like throwing him around. And Tygress, we first see his interest in Selina in that moment. And I think, they made it so obvious that Tygress was like, "Ooh, a lady version of me, hello." And he was just throwing out all the signals.
Did the doctor like purposely like say like, do you think maybe he was like, "Oh, I'm lonely"? It's like, "Oh, we will go find like the perfect partner for you." Is that like why he targeted Selina
That
Kyle?
could be. They don't tell us that, but that would make sense.
Well, they kind of do, because they said, "Oh, like I will be with you because I'll defeat Batman, and then you'll be mine," or whatever. Or do you think he just made that up like willy nilly, real quick? Like, "Hey, if you defeat Batman, you can fuck Selina, bud." I can. Yeah, she talked to me. She's into it, man. But she's also into Batman, so he's got to go. She likes fights to the death, like for her honor.
You want to spend all your 9 lives deep in that ass? You can do that. Yeah, I thought it was a little too obvious, and again, them just making plot lines up as you go along, which just felt very forced. So Dorian asks Batman if Tygress reminds him of Blake's poem and starts quoting it randomly. And if I was Batman, I'd be like, "What are you doing? I'm like fighting a guy, and you're
It
quoting
doesn't
poetry."
remind me of that because I'm not a fucking nerd or a loser like you.
Mr. Freeze shows up. What a fucking nerd. This lab is full of losers.
Poetry, lame. You don't hear me reading a Frost poem, do you? He's a famous poet, if you didn't know that. I forgot his first name, but I know there's a Frost. Right? That's lame. You're lame.
Hey, look at that pussy over there.
Hey, that's a fine pussy you got over there. Pussycat.
Don't go off
tell
me.
Nora. What are you doing later? Right now. I'm free. Maybe splice me with a polar bear, huh? Because snow? Right? It's my gimmick. Hello?
Why does everyone always leave the room?
Just say you don't like my jokes so I can work on them and improve them. Everyone just leaves.
He's testing out his comedy on people. I've got a stand-up coming soon.
Cold crowd. This room's gone cold.
Snowflakes.
Yeah, a bunch of fucking snowflakes. Never gets old. That's the name of my Netflix special. Fucking snowflakes. That's how I come out my first joke. What up, you fucking snowflakes?
That's his catchphrase.
That's my catchphrase.
Oh, man.
Calm down. Everyone chill. I don't really mean that.
Everything is so subtle. I love it.
Be cool, guys.
He's the best character.
He's the best.
I love doing just Mr.
Too
Freeze.
cool, Mr. Freeze.
You love that he's moved from being his high school bully to like,
I think stand-up comedy's my thing.
I think it's my calling.
It's my true calling in life.
Oh, God.
Hey, do you got 5 minutes for my tight 5?
5 minutes for a type 5? Yeah, that's what 5 is.
I'm still learning terms. I don't know.
Oh, God.
Okay, let me break the ice with my first joke. That was it. That was the joke. Hello? Did you all leave again?
All right, everybody. I've been too cool, Mr. Freeze. It's been nice to see you. Good night.
Oh my god.
So I was surprised that the whole third act of this episode was kind of like The Greatest Game, where it's just Tygress hunting Batman. And at one point, Batman is booking it so fast, he looked like the Road Runner.
He is prey to you, my boy, of no more concern than a rabbit is to a wolf. And when he's gone, nothing will stand in your way.
The way he was like moving really fast, and we had this like side view. And I was like, is that who he's going to end up being spliced with? Like, Dorian's like, I'm going to turn you into the Road Runner. Meep, meep, Batman. Tygress is Wile E. Coyote, like, holding up signs, like, ouch, and all these different things. I think that would be great to have a little Looney Tunes.
This cartoon was the only thing that kept me sane during my parents' constant arguments with each other, and I lived in poverty, and the only thing I could see was across from me in the window of our neighbor's house, Looney Tunes. Oh.
They're like, we thought your poetry was bad, but your backstory is even worse, dude.
And that's why I love cats. What?
Where's the connection? I don't know. I'm just making this up as I go along. You ever see Island Dr. Moreau? That's what we're doing here.
I love that movie. And book. Wow, he really got fat in that movie, right? I'm thinking of doing that myself. Thinking of wailing out my final years.
Fat man.
Yeah. Oh no, he spliced me with a big fat guy. It's like, mate, you just got fat by yourself.
It comes home to Alfred.
No. That's what I say to people. I haven't seen it in like 5 years. I'm like, I got spliced with a big fat guy. It's not my fault. It's like, what was the guy's name? Fucking Papa John? Jesus.
I also, at one point, we get like a bridge fight very reminiscent of Temple of Doom.
Yes.
Temple of Doom when you saw that. I was expecting Tygress to be like, Kalima, and like go for Batman's heart. And then Selena says later, like, search your feelings at one point. And I was like, is she about to quote Star Wars?
I was like, Obi? Like, what?
Yeah. Kyodai Ken comes out of nowhere and he's like, Star Wars, A New Hope, 1977. Remember this? This is the thing.
It's the only movie that he plays it. You think it would be Dr. Moreau, right? He's like, what's that? I've never heard of this. Dr. what? A movie about a doctor? That sounds pretty cool. Yeah, and he splices people with animals. What?
Marlon Brando's in it.
What? And Val Kilmer. Oh, he's hot.
He's Batman.
Where? What?
Oh, by the way, earlier you also quoted Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom. Yeah. I just wanted you to know that. 1984, in case anyone wanted to know.
So you tell me you've never seen Dr. Moreau? I don't even know. I've never met the guy. No, it's a movie. I thought it was a book. You do know it.
Kia bye.
I biffed it.
Most people also don't know that Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom is a prequel. Bye.
I didn't know that.
Really? You didn't know that?
I don't like Indiana Jones. It's not my thing.
So, at one point, Batman lets Tygress fall to his supposed death, and he doesn't even blink. I guess genetically altered cat men are not part of your, like, let live or die code. And then I realized later on, because we see him try and save Garth the gorilla when the lab's on fire. And I was like, is that because the gorilla looks more human, Batman? Is that the only reason you're trying to save the gorilla, but you were happy to let the tiger fall to his death?
I don't know.
Or maybe because the tiger was created in a test tube where I think Garth was spliced with.
Oh, is he a splice guy? Right.
I think he's a splice guy. And we see a lot of, actually, there's an episode in Batman Beyond way down the line that we'll eventually get to, which is all to do with splicing. And I always felt like it should have called back to this episode. It never does, but that's like a trendy thing in the future where you can splice yourself with animal DNA, and it's like getting a tattoo. You know, it's like a cool way of like, I don't know, making a statement. You splicing.
But can you
DNA.
Choose the animal?
Yeah, that's the whole thing in Batman Beyond. Yeah.
Right, if you were forced, gun to your head, to splice with an animal, what animal would it be?
I like dogs. I've always been a dog guy, and I think that I would choose like a like you said earlier, like a German Shepherd. Like I think that would be great, or maybe just a golden retriever. Like I love retrievers. I think that would suit me pretty well. What about you?
I'd be like, shoot me. I don't. That sounds frightening.
Yeah, but you have to choose. You said gun to your head.
I thought you would have hated it because you're all about like, oh, I'm turning into a horrible creature and stuff like that.
Yeah, I guess I would still be a mutant, wouldn't I? And I would hate it.
Yeah, you look in the mirror and be like, what have I become? Oh.
Well, that's why I felt so bad for Selena, because at one point she's just chained up, and the next minute she's a cat. You know, like, and I know she was kind of like, do I like this? Do I not? And then she made her mind up at the end. But she was never given a choice. It was just like, you're a cat person now, and you're going to have sex with my cat man. You down with that? You
No. Yeah. I love cats. Not that way. I don't want to fuck a cat.
I felt like the censors let a few things slip in this episode, because Dorian says to Tygress at one point, you should have killed Batman. Not like destroyed or disposed of. He just straight up said killed.
There was broken glass as well.
Yeah, and he whips out like a big old shotgun, and he almost kills Selena with it if Tygress didn't move it. And I was like, that's a serious shotgun. That's not like, you know, a weapon that you see a quick flash of.
It was an elephant rifle. Elephant hunting rifle.
That would have taken Selena's head clean off.
Yeah, would have blown her to bits. And I'm like, whoa!
There, now she's multiple cat women. It's just blasting into her.
Batman!
This is your fault. You've ruined him.
People shout Tygress way too much at the end of this episode as well. They're like, Tygress! And he never listens. I'm like, guys, it's not working. He's obviously not listening to you.
Is his name Tygress or Tygra?
Tygress.
Tygress is more feminine, isn't it?
I guess so, yeah. I mean, Tygress sounds like something out of Thundercats. Like, I could picture a character named Tygress in Thundercats. Yeah. Like Lion-O and Tygress go and hunt Mum-Ra. Like, that sounds like it's from Thundercats.
And Tygress to me just sounds like what you would call like another name for like a cougar or something like that, you know?
Oh, I like that. Could be a new term in the kink world. You're into cougars?
Well.
No, I'm into Tygress.
We watched the episode and my wife said, this is some freaky shit your brother would be into.
Yeah, I'd be like, so I'm a cat, right? Like, yeah. Can I lick my butt?
Only one way to find out, bud. Yep. Yes, I can. How'd it taste? Not good. It was a butt.
Not great. I got a lot of fur in there.
Yeah, it's poop on my butt. So, say poop. It's moving on. What else can I do?
Tygress, no!
Tygress!
Tygress!
So at the end, Tygress asks Batman if he can help his father, and Batman says yes, and then gives no further information, and you know he's just going to chuck that guy in Arkham Asylum and forget about him almost immediately.
Let the system fix him now.
Especially because Tygress is staying on the island. Like, he's like, yeah, I'll look after him, and he's just going to take him back and be like, here you go, your problem.
We have a very special place for cats in the Batcave. You're going to love it.
Can you imagine earlier with that monkey cat, if he's just like, can I have that? Because Alfred's got a shit.
I was like, oh, what the hell is that? Another one for your prize collection, Alfred.
Don't think I haven't smelled that formaldehyde that you're trying to cover up all the dead cat stink, Alfred.
This one speaks as well, so it's going to be like, we're alive down here.
Why am I still here? Why has no one killed me?
Why do I have a 5 o'clock shadow? Did you see that? It's like got like a Homer Simpson's mouth.
Don't.
no.
You know what's messed up too? Like, the experimenting on cats is not far off. Like, when we went to high school in America, there were frozen cats that you could, like, in science class, that you could, like, do experiments on.
Yeah,
that's
but
fucked up.
They're not. I would assume they weren't killed for the purpose of doing that. I would assume that they
I hope
were
not.
naturally dead. I don't actually. You know what? What's
You don't know.
Like, what, is someone like, I found a dead cat.
Yeah.
I can get good money for that for high school.
Yeah, I don't know if they were
What is
all
the hang on,
natural
everybody?
deaths.
Can someone write in? Like, you're right. I remember
Yeah.
like people like talking about frogs and stuff, which is, I think frogs are really cute. I don't want to rip open a frog. But frogs have a shorter lifespan, so you could be like, this. But no, there's no way they're like, it was a free roaming frog and lived a great life, and now we're going to dissect it. What happened? What is the story there?
I think they just killed a bunch of cats and frogs. They're like, send it to the high school, baby, because that's a pretty penny.
Kill them in what way though? Because it's not like they're like got like their throat slit or like or anything like that.
I have no idea, but I don't want to think
I remember
about
hearing about like because I remember a buddy of mine. He went up like in the science class world, like like those levels where it's like.
Yeah.
You're really good at science class, so you get to go to like the next level of high school classes. And I remember him being like, "Yeah, we're dissecting a cat today." I was like, "Didn't you just get a cat?" And he's like, "Yeah, it's fucked up." Like, it's like that's gonna be weird. Like,
also, I had a cat at home, and now it's not there anymore.
You mean this one?
Frozen solid mittens. Is that you? Oh, it's messed up, man. I remember like smelling the formaldehyde in school. I remember seeing them, like, because as you said, there were different levels, and I wasn't part of that class. I think that's where like serial killers were born in some instances. But I was just seeing it, and I was like, "That's messed up. Like those are pets."
Yeah, what the fuck? Why have I never thought about this? This is messed up shit. Are they still doing this today? We need answers.
Yeah, if they are, I don't know why it keeps on slipping by. People are like, "Oh, cats are so sweet," but yeah, science class, you gotta freeze them and cut them open.
Imagine if it was like, "Oh yeah, we're dissecting like Labradors today." I'd be like, "Huh?
Yeah, right? Like,
what do you mean Labradors?"
This one.
Oh.
Just keep on
That's my Labrador.
Oh, that's so messed up. Yeah, I was thinking about that today, and I was like, that's fucked up. That's a weird, like, that just seems so surreal. That seems like something that would be made up in, like, a horror movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it actually happens. Like, people do that all the time.
Who's the top of that class? Like, fucking Norman Bates? Like,
yeah.
Jeffrey Dahmer? Like...
Dr. Dorian, he's like, that's why I like cats.
Yeah. I like dissecting them. And I wanted to make a giant cat so I can dissect a giant cat. The fun that I will have doing that. I'm a freak. It's why I live on an island, because if I didn't, I'd be doing it to humans and members of Gotham. So you should be thanking me that I'm doing it on big cats.
I fucked that dead pussy.
I also fuck the cats. That's why they have to be human-sized, because when I'm done with a regular cat, it's just bits. It's like the sorting hat down there. Too small. I needed a real size. What are we talking about? Fucking cats? Sorry.
Gryffindor!
It really huffles my palm.
I want to slither inside that thing.
Whoa, this kitten's got Raven claws.
We've done it. There we go.
We done it. It's all the houses.
So yeah, at the end, Selena gets the cure, and I thought, like, how did she turn back into a human? I know she got the cure, but like, how long is that process? Is it instant? Or did she have to go through like a long, horrible, torturous, like to go back to being human?
I got you the reverse polyjuice potion. That's right. This is still Harry Potter references here. Do you know that the creator is like really anti-trans? It's kind of gross. Anyway, let's transform, shall we?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Oh god. Yeah, and that's the end of this very weird, awkward episode. As always, we do our top 3. In no particular order, right now it's Perchance to Dream, Joker's Favourite, and The Laughing Fish. Buddy, does this make your top 3?
No.
And what would you give it out of 10?
I would give it a 3 out of 10.
I am also giving it a 3 out of 10. I just didn't like it at all.
Don't like it. like I said, love the cinematography. Love the character designs. Like, it's a cool cat-looking guy and a cool.
Yeah, they look
cat.
great.
I liked seeing the Man-Bat pop up.
Yeah, that was a cool cameo. I like seeing Kirk Langstrom again. We see him one more time in a couple episodes when his wife becomes the Woman Bat, if you want to call it that. But
spoilers, jeez.
I thought you knew that.
Yeah, well, I can't remember. I haven't seen it in 30 years.
Fair. Well, you'll forget. You always forget. You'll be like, oh, his wife's the Man Bat. I'm like, yeah, I told you this.
I've obviously rewatched the classics. Like, I've seen fucking Laughing Fish a million times and almost got him. Like, when I sit down to watch Batman the Animated Series, I'm like, I want the goods.
Batman the Animated Series.
Batman the Animated Series. But, going, like, the last time I watched through all of it was when you bought it on DVD for the first time. When you flunked out of college and moved back home and you were like, I am depressed, so you're going to sit with me?
I am depressed. I am sad.
And you were buying each season for like $50 each. And you're like, I've spent $300. It's the only money I own.
Yep.
And we're going to watch all the Batman animated series. And then you were like, and I was doing Claymation at the time. You're like, I'm going to build Gotham City. We're going to make a whole Batman animation.
And then I got accepted back into uni, and I was like, enough of this shit, bye.
Peace, brother. And you were gone.
I definitely will probably never watch this episode again, I think. Now we've reviewed it, I have no need to watch it again, and it's been a while since I've seen it. So I think this is the first time, besides, like, we weren't a big fan of Be a Clown, also another Frank Parr episode, coincidentally, but that still has some merit, and it's got the Joker, so it's always going to be, a fairly decent episode. There's nothing redeeming about this episode that will make me want to watch it again. It was just such a weird, random, boring episode. So if you like this episode, you can write in, please do, and let us know the reasons why. And of course, if you like it, that's more power to you. Everybody's got their favorite episodes. I'm sure this is probably someone's favorite episode, but for us, this has been the lowest rated yet, even more than Cat Scratch Fever, right? And that was bad.
Well, here's the thing, though. It's like, stuff can be bad, but it's like, it's funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're like, oh, that's terrible. And it makes you laugh. And but this was just like, there wasn't even like anything funny, like, to make fun of it. It was all very serious and like very dramatic and topics that don't suit the Batman universe too well. And it just didn't work for me. That's it.
Nope. The animation was the only redeeming thing about this episode for me.
Yeah. And character design and cinematography.
Yeah, that's it. So, just a quick fit check. Bruce is in a grey trench coat when he's outside the restaurant. Did you notice that? Did you notice that fit check? You got that one?
I don't pay attention to that.
It's
I
your
don't
boy.
care what a cartoon character is wearing.
Okay, well, that's it for the only different outfits. I mean, put Batman in like a jungle outfit, right? If you're going to put him in the jungle, let's like see him in some sort of different outfit. But they're like, nah, we're good.
I wouldn't like that at all.
No?
Well, that's them just like trying to sell action figures at that
True.
point.
I guess they don't do that, but I would have enjoyed to see something besides just the regular jungle.
Just like Batman in like a camo, like cape and cowl.
Yeah, with like some cool new vehicle to like get onto the island.
You sound like a toy company. Like
we would have made this more fun, and we could have sold some toys.
Robin, you can never escape fear. Help!
Up in the sky, it's the Bat Signal Jet. Batteries not included.
So next week we're coming back, and there's going to be another animal episode. This is now
what, back-to-back animal episodes.
This is what I'm going to call the trio of back-to-back animal episodes. It starts with Dr. Moreau, whatever we want to call this episode. I forgot the name of it now. I'm just calling it
Tyger
Tyger. It starts with Tyger Tyger. Next week is Moon of the Wolf, which is the werewolf episode of Batman the Animated
I feel like
Series.
this is a werewolf episode.
I feel that way too, but we're going to get a werewolf episode where Harry Hamlin comes back to voice the guy who plays the werewolf. And then the third one is Terror in the Sky, which is the return of the Man-Bat. Redacted Bat, because I don't want to name the gender.
Did these come out in October or something? Like, was it like Halloween time?
I said it at the beginning of this episode. When did this come out? I think it was November, so they even missed the mark on that one. No, October 30th. This came out the day before Halloween.
Oh, but then the other ones
Sometimes they're literally day after day. So
that's gotta be
Moon of the Wolf will be Halloween, surely. I would assume
that's gotta be why they were doing stuff like this, right?
Yeah. So they just put all 3 animal episodes together. So yeah, that's what we're gonna watch.
That sounds good.
Yeah, I know. I can't wait. Next week is also an episode that I've seen maybe once or twice, but maybe it will be more fun. I don't know.
I love classic Universal monsters. I love werewolves. And that whole story, Mobster Mash, coming out October 1st. Everyone go check it out.
Yep.
I'm going to give it a chance. I like werewolves. I don't like cat people. I like werewolves. There's a big difference.
And I don't like Dr. Moreau. It's just never been a story that
I've never been into that story either.
Neither have I.
We had to read that book in high school and watch the movie.
Yep.
And I was like, this isn't good, guys. Like, let's do something. I think the best movie I saw in high school was Cool Hand Luke, maybe? I don't know. Like, I'm trying to think of like another like movie I was forced to watch. We had to watch
Das Boot a million times.
No, I never watched Das Boot.
Oh, I had to watch Das Boot.
We had an assembly where we watched Glory, but on like Remembrance Day.
Oh yeah, I have watched Glory as well. Yeah,
but it was like
I've only seen that once.
Yeah. Oh, that was so long. Civil War to me. I'm sorry, America, but such a fucking boring war. Oh my god.
So yeah, come back next week where we'll be watching the werewolf episode of Batman the Animated Series.